The images in the following program are highly sensitive and may be as disturbing to viewers as they were to us. However, we have to show the truth about animal cruelty.
This is the Stop Animal Cruelty series on Supreme Master Television. Dr. Michael Greger is a vegan who is a physician, author, and the director of public health and animal agriculture at the Humane Society of the United States. He is speaking with us today about the public health threat that dangerous factory farms pose to us all in terms of how they facilitate the transmission of viruses such as the swine flu virus. Now, Dr. Greger explains why the immune system of an animal cruelly raised under the crowded and squalid conditions of a concentrated animal feeding operation is severely compromised.
The stress crippling their immune systems. There's science that shows that even simple measures like providing straw to these animals, just so they don't have the immune crippling effect of the stress of lying on bare concrete their whole lives, can significantly decrease swine influenza transmission rates.
What is the end result of unconscionably raising billions of animals under crammed, traumatic conditions with insufficient fresh air and no sunlight?
And you put all these factors together, you have this perfect storm environment for the emergence, existence, and spread of these highly pathogenic viruses, which is of course very concerning for us, the human population.
To date, the swine flu, or H1N1, has infected hundreds of thousands of people. The World Health Organization states that over 1,800 have perished thus far from the virus. However, Dr. Greger warns that the virus could follow a pattern similar to that of the 1918 pandemic.
There are certainly concerns anytime there's a new influenza virus. In 1918, there was a very mild wave, as we may be experiencing now, which started in March, April, May of 1918, and then essentially disappeared, but came back in late August to strike dead 50 to 100 million people around the world. And so, is that same thing going to happen with swine flu? We have no way of telling. If it's not this swine flu, it could still be the bird flu or a number of these other very serious animal flu viruses that have recently emerged thanks in part to the way we now confine billions of animals around the globe.
Antibiotic use on pigs, chickens, cows, etc. is rampant on factory farms in order to keep the gentle beings alive in their foul and disgusting surroundings until slaughter. According to the esteemed United States nonprofit organization, the Union of Concerned Scientists, 70% of antibiotics used in the U.S. are given to factory farm animals. This abusive practice has implications for humans as well.
As a physician, we are running out of good antibiotic options, and the majority of antibiotics used in the United States goes not to treat sick people, but goes to farm animals, just to promote growth and prevent disease in such a stressful and unhygienic environment.
Dr. Greger confirms that many American health professionals have recognized the peril these intensive animal-raising operations pose to humankind.
Back in 2003, the American Public Health Association called for a moratorium on these so-called factory farms. So the oldest and largest association of public health professionals in the world, over 5 years ago, said no more factory farms. In 2005, the United Nations released a press release saying that these factory farms provide what they call ideal conditions for the virus to mutate into more dangerous form. These industrial confinement facilities, these factory farms or CAFOs, can be thought of as original incubators for dangerous strains of animal flu viruses. And just last year in 2008, the Pew Commission on Industrial Farm Animal Production, which included a former U.S. Secretary of Agriculture, concluded that these factory farms pose unacceptable public health risks.
How do we minimize our chances of contracting these viruses?
You only get the flu if you come in contact with someone who's sick or right before they become sick. And so by isolating oneself in one's home, one can not get infected. And of course, there's other measures such as respiratory hygiene, not coughing in one's hand, because then one enslimes their hand with virus, which can then transfer to a doorknob or a light switch handle or gas pump handle, and then infect someone else, touching that doorknob and then touching their face, their eyes, nose, and mouth before first washing their hands. So hand hygiene, very important as well. Either washing one's hands after touching a public surface or shaking someone's hands before touching one's face, or using one of these alcohol-based hand sanitizers, very effective in destroying any influenza viruses.
Many thanks to Dr. Michael Greger for his tireless and dedicated research on the relationship between concentrated animal feeding operations and pandemic influenza viruses. May all such operations be halted immediately to end the horrendous cruelty to our animal friends, and may humankind adopt the compassionate, organic, vegan diet so that all beings on our planet can live in health, happiness, and peace. Please join us again next Tuesday on Animal World, Our Co-Inhabitants for part 2 of our interview with Dr. Michael Greger on how factory farms spread viruses. Enlightening entertainment is next after noteworthy news here on Supreme Master Television. May heaven's grace be upon our planet.
For more details, please visit www.suprememastertv.com/stop-animal-cruelty.